If time is money, most people would have a 200 credit score because your priorities are all out of whack. You could walk into the bank and they wouldn't even give you the time of day. Welcome. This is episode 5 of Empowerment Hour. Today we're going to be talking about time management. Now, this podcast is dedicated to helping teens and young adults improve their life, basically. We're going to be talking about a lot of different subjects such as improving self love, your confidence, and anything that I believe could be valuable to my audience. And as I said, today is time management. We've all heard the phrase time is money, but how do you spend it? Are you being wise with your time? Now, look at your day. We each have 24 hours. Some people have different responsibilities, of course, but we all have 24 hours. The sun goes up, the sun goes down. You sleep 8 hours, you go to school 8 hours. What do you do with the remaining hours? You need time to relax, time to eat, use the bathroom, etc. But where are you putting that time? What are you doing with it? Because people make time for what they think is important. And that phrase, making time, isn't that, oh, you just magically made time. No, it's that you take the time available to you and you direct it towards what you believe is important. People make time for their family. They make time for their relationships. They make time to go to the gym. They make time to read a book. They make time to watch a movie or scroll on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube or whatever. But how are you spending your time? Because unfortunately, when it comes to money, people can see the bank account number. You can see the price tag. You can see the amount of money in the stock market or in your bank account, whatever you're going to think about. But people are so protective of money, money, money. I got to hold my money, but they don't think about their time the same way. People, unfortunately, don't value their time enough. And I'm not saying I'm any better. I'm just saying that it's something we all need to be aware of. Take a look at your screen time. 5 hours on Instagram, 5 hours on TikTok, 9 hours, 5 hours, 2 hours, here, there. Now, once you have that, imagine what would happen if instead of 9 hours on Instagram, you put 2 hours in the gym. Think about how you would look at the end of the year. How about instead of putting 9 hours into YouTube, you put that into reading a book? Just an hour a day. At the end of the year, that's 365 hours. That is over a month of time. So think to yourself, what will my life look like? What could I have achieved? What would have happened had I put 365 hours into this thing? But that's so much time. It's 1 hour a day. Or you could just do 30 minutes a day reading a book, 15 minutes a day reading a book. It's these little things that over time add up and add up and add up. And eventually, the same way that if you were to save $5 a day for a year, you'd have a lot of money. That will happen if you instead put 15 minutes into something beneficial. Walking outside, doing some push ups, reading a book. How are you spending your time? Because your life is going to be the result of that. You can take a look at somebody such as a businessman or businesswoman, and you look at them and you're like, how did they build that business? They put the time in. Yeah, there were other things, they might have had to go get a loan from the bank, they had to hire people, they had to sign legal certificates and get an LLC and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, they put the time in. You look at somebody who is in really good shape, big muscles, slim waist, big hips, whatever you find to be a healthy and attractive body shape. You ask yourself, how did they look like that? Well, they went to the gym. They put the time in. They put the time in to get the right food. They put the time in to learn what workouts to do. They put the time in. So, where are you putting your time? And the numbers don't lie. You can think to yourself, oh yeah, I spent time reading a book today. I spent time doing this. I'm really productive. Okay, but what about the 80% of time when you weren't? And no one has to be 100% perfect. You don't have to wake up and the very first thing you do in the morning is go to the gym. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. You don't have to wake up in the morning and the very first thing you do is read a book or yoga or meditate. But you have to think to yourself, how am I spending my time? Because the things you do cause stuff to happen. And that stuff creates your life. Put simply, if I go to the gym every day, I'm going to build muscle. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to be healthier. The result of that is I have a healthier life. I have a healthier body. I have better habits. I start to be more mindful of what am I eating? What am I drinking? What am I taking in? How am I spending my time? And then a huge thing too is how are you spending your time around other people? You might have some friends, girlfriend, family, whatever, and you're like, yeah, I love hanging out with these people, but they not no good for me. Every time I come around them, they talking negative. Every time I come around them, they gossiping. Every time I come around them, it's you heard about so and so. You heard about this thing. You heard about this celebrity drama. You heard about this. You heard about that. Can't be around that. That's not a good use of my time. Every time you spending time around these people who are bad for you, just imagine burning $100. You got a fire and you're just throwing money in it, throwing money in it, throwing money in it. That's what happens when we're wasting our time because you can get more money. You can get a new car. You can get a new relationship, new friends, whatever, but you can't get more time. It's like we have this clock that is always ticking down and it's going to hit zero someday. And you don't know when that day is. So I want this to be your reminder to be mindful of your time. Like, take a moment to think about how your time is worth so much more than money. People put their money like this and they put their time like this. They think I need to hold on to all my money, but I'm going to go waste all my time. I'm going to party and do all these things I know I shouldn't be doing because, oh, I'm just young, I'm having fun, I have time. Yeah, but you don't know how much. You know how much money is in your bank account, but you don't know how long you have left to live. There are people who just out the blue, heart attack. There are people who just out the blue, lightning strike. There are people who out the blue, car crash. It just happens. And none of us know when our day is. None of us know when our time hits zero. But what we do know and what we do have control of is right now. Right now, how are you spending your time? Right now, how are you spending your time around other people? What kind of entertainment are you watching? What kind of music? What kind of people are you around? What habits? What are you doing with your time? And a good way to be honest with yourself is just look at the data. Every 30 minutes, if you just write down, what am I doing right now? I was asleep, okay, from let's just say 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. I was asleep that whole time. All right, sleep. Then what did I do? I went to the gym. Then what did I do? I read a book. Then what did I do? I watched YouTube for 5 hours. Be honest with yourself because then you can look at it and say, all right, if I keep living the way I'm living, I'm going to keep getting what I'm getting because the things that I have are a result of what I do and do not do with my time. The person who goes to the gym every day has a healthier body because of how they spend their time. The person who has that loving relationship, that loving boyfriend, girlfriend, has that because it's a result of how they spent their time. They spent their time letting that person know, hey, I care about you, I love you, I appreciate you. The person who had that car or that job that you want or that degree or that money is a result of how do they spend their time. People get so focused on how do they spend their money, but they don't think about how am I spending my time. Now, a good example of this too that you can do right now is just ask yourself honestly, what would my life look like if I spent time doing what I know I should be doing? Often the problem isn't that we don't know what to do. The problem is that we choose not to do what we know we should do. And we will basically go out and find all this information, all this knowledge, and learn and learn and learn and learn, but not implement. We will go out there and we'll read all the books. We'll take all the classes. We'll study. We'll do all the things, but we won't take action on it. And your life isn't going to be the result of what you know, it's the result of what you do using what you know. So, this episode is very simple. This is very simple. Just be mindful of how do you spend your time. Because, like I said at the start, most people, if time is money, they would be in some serious financial trouble. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure you like this episode, subscribe to the podcast, and if you're interested in one-on-one coaching, you can find the links below as well as the links to purchase my books. And lastly, if you happen to be a podcast host, school principal, or a event organizer looking for speakers for your event, you can contact me at lawrence@lawrencecharris.com. Have a good one.